Hello, hello. What's up in Matsuribayashi today? Oh, connecting fragments? Who could have guessed? What were we doing? I think I said I'd do club stuff, right? We have Rena. Yeah, we have Rena unlocked. Then we can do New Wind. That's cool. We can also do nah. We can do Disappointment, I guess. You know what, let's get some Disappointment going for now, and yeah. Let's just get started with some sad music. It's how I like to start a video. It's a Tomodachi Takano. Dude, now you're talking. These ones always boost me up. Though it does sound sad. Hopefully we'll get some wholesome Tomodachi-ness. Is this when Tomodachi consoles her and they become in a real relationship? Please? Oh. She's freaking pissed. I'd be mad too, though. Takano-san has been looking through the viewfinder, but I haven't seen her push the shutter at all. While she came along, I don't think she's in the mood for bird watching. Takano-san has been depressed ever since the announcement of the new policies at the board meeting the other day. That's understandable. The Erie Institute was created by her in the first place. It was created so that she can devote her life to researching Hinamizawa syndrome. For all that to be tossed aside while being asked to wrap up work within a few years, of course she's depressed. Besides, she can't even fully spend the rest of the time left on research. Their funding has been cut in stages, and by the end, they'll barely be able to finish closing up, let alone researching anything. I heard she's the granddaughter of the late Dr. Takano. What do you mean? What do you mean you heard? She told you that. I mean, you heard it from her. Her determination to finish her grandfather's research is what kept her going until today. Is this Irie? Maybe this is Irie, not Tomodachi. No, it has to be Tomodachi. It doesn't even make sense. Maybe this was before Tomodachi told. Or Takano told Tomodachi. Or I guess, again, this is another freaking fragment, so it doesn't have to happen in that order. I always get confused. Since everything has been going so smoothly until recently, this sudden change in the wind's direction must have been a total shock. The shift in people pulling the strings must be pretty serious. The board of directors was completely changed out, and she heard that people and projects influenced by the Koizumi faction were being restructured to set an example. The wind's new direction seems likely to remain for a long time. It's highly unlikely that the Koizumi faction will come back into power, so no matter what we say, it's almost impossible to expect the same kind of support from them. Takano-san muttered. Unfortunately, there isn't. There's nothing anybody can do.
最初理事会では即時研究を中止という話も出たんだ。それをなんとか納得させて数年間で段階的に終了というところまで勝ち取ってくれたんだよ。入江機関発足で僕たちを世話してくれた人たちがね。
なるほど。一見最悪と思えるこの状況も、それでも陰で誰かが勝ち取ったギリギリの成果なのね。
それで勝ち取った期間がせいぜい3年なんだ。僕も一応努力はしたんだよ。高野さんが今日までに作った資料を理事会に説明し、とても重要な研究であることをアピールしたつもりなんだけど。
それでも3年でおしまいなのね。
Maybe Takano-san doesn't understand how hard I tried to convince him. No, I believe it, dude. Because what she just said tells me the length of time really doesn't matter to her. The important thing is that her research is being stopped. The fact is that I couldn't meet her expectations and made her feel disappointed. As a man, it kind of hurts.
僕にできることはせめて研究が畳まれるまでの数年間心残りがないよう研究できるだけの予算をつけるための根回しをしてあげることだけだ。ごめん、こんな程度のことしかできなくて。
いいのよ。それが二郎さんにできる精一杯なのなら、それでとても嬉しいもの。
Her words hurt me. I wish she'd chosen different ones, but I think that would be asking too much from someone so heartbroken. I must be understanding of her pain at a time like this. Besides, I know how close she was to the deceased Koizumi-sensei. She even called him uncle. To her, his death is not just the start of a coup or a change in direction. She lost a person who was always looking after her. No matter how hard she pushed herself to act villainous, she wasn't supposed to be part of this world. She was just an ordinary woman. But she was intrigued by Hinamizawa syndrome, and she had to find help from someone who had more power than her to be able to continue research on it. No, that's a great picture to paint, but that's obviously not exactly true. Well, I mean, The dark side of the world world she should never have gotten involved in, extended its hands out to her. She was left all by herself in that world, and she's still trying to put on a brave face. I'm sure Takano-san thinks I'm unreliable. Realistically, I'm not the kind of person who can meet her expectations, nor do I have the power to. The least I can do for her is stay sincere and remain her ally until the very end. Since she had so much room to act, it's harder for her to determine what actions to take when she's cornered. I wanted to believe she wouldn't, but I'm concerned that she might do something drastic eventually. It's one way to put it. I hope I can be of help to her in that very final moment before she makes her move. But I can't even gain enough trust for her to do that. How pitiful and pathetic. Of course, part of it is, as a man, I want her to rely on me. But that's not really it. She's been abandoned in this world and is all alone, so someone has to be her ally. And if I'm the only one who knows about that, then being her ally is my job. I just realized, since we're making a blessed world where we can win, I'm pretty sure Tomotachi's gonna live. Dude, I actually think it might happen. I think that's like the one way to beat Takano. Like the best way, in my opinion, is if Tomotachi can actually convince her to stop. Instead of facing her head on with her freaking army of mercenaries, I feel like if Tomotachi can make her stop, then that's actually like super blessed. And it would be super like heartwarming because, again, I really like the couple. They're honestly like, I mean, canonically, there's not really much couples to compare to them, but like, even if you're just doing like couples in your head with random pairings, I really do like the Takano and Tomotachi one. Probably like second, but very close to first place in my head. I know her too well, so I know that she'll never ask for help. Even if she says it's unnecessary, someone has to be with her. I know that. I don't really think I'm suited for that job. I'm sure there are many reliable people out there who are more appropriate for the position than me. But I can't let her be alone until that person appears.
高野さん、僕は全然頼りがいもないし、みっともない男かもしれないけど。
何突然。どうしたの、二郎さん。
それでも頼ってもらえたらきっと力になれることもあると思うんだ。だから。
ありがとう。でも私、喋るだけでも心が軽くなるっていうのをあまり信じてないの。
そうかい。ならいいんだ。僕はずっと味方だから、それだけは信じていてほしいな。
もちろん信じてるわ。理事会をうまく説得できる方法があったらぜひ教えてね。
僕なりにも努力してみるよ。
Why is it? I know she's such a strong person and there's nothing someone like me can do for her. But somehow I feel she needs help and support right now. She looks as tough as ever, but only I, who has been taking pictures of her all this time, can tell. A viewfinder, after all, is also a window to look into someone's heart. But if I say something like that, she'll tease me again, so I won't. Anyway, I never thought she needed support more strongly than I do right now. I wonder if you said, dude, if you said that, I don't think she would have teased you right now. Could have been the jab to her heart that she needed. Sad but wholesome, dude. I love me the Tomodachi Takano fragments. And I sadly think that might actually just be the last one. So, what did that, what would that have added in context to what we have left? No. Isn't? We haven't, though. Unless that's from, because I thought they might have mentioned it in, this board meeting thing. The roll of one. Wanna speedrun this? Skip!
おじいちゃん。
もちろんそれらは全てですが、日本は国際社会において重要なポジションを担う国よって新生アルファベットプロジェクトは国際交流と経済発展の二軸からなる平和外交の見地から日本の地位よこれはもちろん入り
わかりました。私たちもスポンサーあっての研究です。どうかよろしくお願いいたします。
でありまして、この4月に入江機関はこれまで理事会でもこの成果はい
え、恐縮です。
入江新これらの入江機関は直ちに
わかりました。ご指示に従います。
また入江
確かに研究は
理事会では入江機関はすでに治療
Ah,
薬
see?
について十分な研究を完成させているという認識です。
I think we can actually do that then. So the C-17. Oh shit, did that fuck me? That might have fucked me a bit. Yikes, I thought it would just take me back. That's a little cringe. Shit. It's okay. We can... Skip is like literally a second. So I think we can do Deja Vu after this.
今日はこれくらいにしよう。
そんなことはもう
それで僕
いいのよ。それが二郎さんにできる精一杯なのなら。
僕なりにも努力してみるよ。
Thanks, Tomodachi. So yeah, we can do this. Nice. It was a little sneaky one. I honestly kind of missed it.
中川君、ずいぶんの久方ぶりになるね。先はやってるのかい？あれ？
いえいえ、もうさっぱりです。年は取りたくないもんですな。
クレイやるときは集中してやらないとダメだよ。あんまり間を空けすぎると勘が鈍っちゃって意味ない。
先生、ご紹介します。高野さんさです。
はじめまして。本日はお忙しい中、お時間をお割きくださいまして
Ooh.
ありがとうございます。
I wonder if this is... I don't know if this is Takano just trying to get funding, but what if this is her equating herself with the other faction, you know? Like maybe, obviously that would probably be involved with Koizumi's faction, but like, you know, those people that still want to purify Japan or make it a strong country, whatever.
ああ、別に君のために時間を割いたわけじゃない。うまい生ウニが食わせてもらえるって話でね。ウニはいいんだよ君。ビタミン A が豊富でね。お肌に特にいいんだとか。女性は大好きでしょ、ウニ。
Pleasant diet. It is true that sea urchins are rich in vitamin A, but compared to spinach, it's not anything that's worth making a fuss about. Well, none of that matters right now. He just seemed like an unpleasant man, so I want to criticize him. Yeah, that's what I thought too. These men are the directors of the Alphabet Project who control the funding for the Irie Institute. They are also the people in the position of being able to offer their opinions to those directors. To put it a simpler way, they are the new owners of the Irie Institute. Ah, okay. Although not as much as Uncle Koizumi was, they are also leaders and influencers in various fields. I have to be very careful not to upset them. And therefore, there's no way I would have the ability to call them in. By using the influence that the Koizumi faction once had, I finally managed to get this chance. Uncle Koizumi, who gave me his full support and made everything go my way, is not here anymore. I'm on my own from this point on, and I will open up a path. But this stage just doesn't belong to me today. I can't let the people who offered me this chance lose face, so I have to wait patiently until it's my turn. My primary objective today is to explain what a prominent research subject the Higurashi syndrome is, and acquire an indefinite extension for our research. They only ever think about money, so they aren't even realizing the hidden potential of Higurashi syndrome. They don't recognize it's worth spending a lot of money on. This is not mere research on the existence of an unknown parasite, but something that may overthrow the basic foundations of anthropology. A Nobel Prize wouldn't even be enough. It won't be quite easy trying to explain all that to men who know nothing about any of it. But I have to. That's why I spent many hours making these straightforward support documents. Sometimes we make documents confusing on purpose because we don't like dealing with uneducated people, but this time it's different. I can't look down at them. I must sincerely try to make them understand. They're accessible support documents they're in huge files. Oh, I feel okay. No, deja vu. I just realized it's probably gonna be deja vu as like a similar scenario that Afumi went through, where these guys just criticize her and totally ignore it and stuff. It feels like we're wasting time eating traditional Japanese food in such a relaxed mood. I want to get to the point and explain to them in detail so they can understand. But there is the saying, luck lies in the last helping. I have to be patient right now.
正直ね、これまでのアルファベットはあまり良くないと思うのです。結局こいつは未だ頭の中が時代遅れの年寄りどものね、お砂場みたいなもんだったんですな。
年寄りどもが自分のじゃない金で過去の栄光を取り戻す夢を描くお砂場です。そんな年寄りどもの妄想のために一体どれだけの公金が垂れ流されたやら。聞いた話じゃ、奥野先生あたりが検察をつっついて旧理事会を横領で追わせてるらしいですな。
年寄りたちをよいしょしてうまい汁を吸っていた連中の末路ですな。もっとも表沙汰にはできんでしょうから、別件で隕石左遷といった形になるんでしょうが、いやはや、これも戦前の亡霊をずっと野放しにしていた日本のツケですな。いやー、この野球にの汁もたまらない。
これは手厳しい。そんな中で先生にこんなお願いをするのは非常になんですが、一つお時間を頂戴できればと思いまして。
入江機関さんでしたっけ？ 確か長野だか岐阜の方で風土病の研究をされてるんでしたな。どういうことになってましたっけ？
理事会の決定で軍事転用研究が中止に。あと研究そのものも3年以内に段階的終了に決定しています。ああ、いえ、これは継続協議中でした。まあそのいずれにしましても数年以内に閉鎖になる予定です。
おお、思い出した。入江機関さんは旧理事会でも評判が悪かったみたいですな。何しろ莫大な予算をほとんど無審査で吸い取ってましたからね。
某大先生がどういうわけかこのプロジェクトをやたら後押しされてたみたいでしてね。その絡みもあって結局誰も文句が言えずに放置されてきたってのが実際のようです。
まあでもな、もう大先生は女癖が悪かったからそれもあったのかもしれませんな。
Is he implying that I slept with Uncle Koizumi? He's insulting both of us, but I held my anger in. I can't let myself be bothered by something like this.
それで本日は当機関の研究内容について説明させていただき、当機関に対する理事会の決定についてどうかご再考をお願いしたいと思いましてお時間を頂戴させていただきました。本日はこのような場へご多忙な中お越しいただきましたことを深く御礼申し上げます。
ま、ただでウニが出てくるわけはないってことですな。
I explained to them how much the Hinamizawa syndrome mattered, while being very careful not to go too fast. I tried to let them know that the syndrome's potential is not limited to small things like military applications, but it's much more meaningful than that. It may explain ideology and religion. It may even shape the very definition of a human being. I took my time to explain as slowly and clearly as possible. I'm not confident that all of it had gotten through to those boorish men, but I'm happy if they understood even just a part of it. As long as they understood how much of a magnificent discovery Hinamizawa syndrome really is. Uh-oh.
ありがとう、サンサ。なるほど。
ちょっと検討したいので、サンサには一度下がってもらってよろしいですかな。
はい、それでは失礼させていただきます。
Obviously, they can't discuss in front of me. I left all the documents with them. All I could do now is hope they viewed them favorably. I left the room and closed the sliding door. The room next door is a preparation room, so I was to head there. But I stopped. I shouldn't have done it, but I tried to listen in through the sliding door.
こりゃなんと言いますか。全理事の皆さんも気の毒としか言いようがありませんな。
いや小泉先生がですね、非常に強く押されていまして。
小泉先生にはローベル製薬日本法人の初代顧問に就任された時に一度お会いし、とても聡明な方だなという印象を強く持っていたのですが、人間年には勝てないということですな。何事も引き際が肝心だと思い知らされますよ。
ただですね、ひなみ沢症候群という非常に珍しい病気があるのは事実でございまして、決して全てが全て妄想というわけではありませんでして。
入江機関はすでに病気の解明と治療薬の開発に成功しているというじゃありませんか。それで十分ですよ。現代日本にとって周辺諸国を過敏にさせる件については剣に慎むべきです。中でも軍事分野は最も敏感と言えるでしょう。少なくとも数年間にわたり軍事目的の研究がされていた事実は直ちに抹消しなくてはなりません。
それは軍事研究の中止とは別に。
そうです。ひなみ沢症候群は生物兵器開発のための研究という事実は直ちに研究を中止したとしても残ります。ひなみ沢症候群を目的は何であれ研究した事実は厳重に隠蔽されなければなりません。できればひなみ沢症候群そのものがなくなってしまうのが好ましい
ですな。病気が残ればやがては関心を持つ者が現れ、せっかく埋めた穴をわざわざ掘り返す輩が現れないとも限りません。理事会の決定通り、入江機関は病気を撲滅させ次第、研究の痕跡を全て消した上で解散させるのがいいでしょ
うん、やはりそういう結論に行き着きますな。ノーベル賞が取れるかどうかが問題ではなく、戦後日本にとって無用な研究だということです。そもそも大昔から存在し、特に異常もなくやってこれたわけでしょ。やぶをつっつく研究なのではと当初から思っていました。
う。同感ですな。ひなみ沢症候群という病気の存在自体は疑わないが、この高野という第一発見者は少々この病気を脚色しすぎですな。私も資料を読みながらユニークな発想をする人だなぁと思っておりました。第一、寄生虫で人の思想が染まるなんて聞いたことがない。そりゃいくらなんでもひどすぎる。
If you tried to explain religions with this, then Buddha, Christ, all those people would be, what was it again? Queen carriers? If you tried exposing something like this, we'd be attacked by every nation on the planet. Religion is pretty scary nowadays. Wahahaha.
動物の脳に寄生する寄生虫がいるなら、たまには人間の脳に寄生する寄生虫がいてもいいとは思う。しかしその寄生虫が思想や人格までもコントロールする可能性なんてのはさすがにこりゃちょっとユニークすぎます。
As I peeked in through the gap in the sliding door, I became trapped within an unbelievable sense of deja vu. This is my first time experiencing this, but it doesn't feel that way. I don't know why, but the memory is so sad and so painful. Huh? Huh? Why tears? Before I realized it, I saw a very nostalgic, carpeted room on the other side of the sliding door instead of the room covered in tatami mats. The room is filled with the smell of dust mixed with the smell of some evaporated medicine, but it's very soothing to me just the same. And there is my grandfather. His article that he poured his heart into was being made a mockery of, yet he wasn't even allowed to cry. This isn't a delusion, because within the documents I left with those men, there are a lot of references to the article my grandfather wrote. So I'm not surprised for my grandfather to be standing right there, explaining it to them himself. Together with my tears from seeing the sight of my beloved grandfather, I watched these men insult and belittle his masterpiece. I've seen this sight before, and the sight should have ended there. But why is it repeating before my eyes? I can only blankly peek through the sliding door at this strange world where reality and illusion overlap.
あの三叉もちょいとおかしいし、こんな世まいごとを信じた小泉先生もおかしいが、やはりこの第一発見者の論文が一番おかしいですな。
期待と妄想が入り混じっていて、これは論文というより創作の次元ですな。というか、これはこのままどこかの出版社に持ち込んで本にした方がウケると思いますよ。
確かに確かに。私の友人に出版社の社長をやってるのがいてね、きっと面白がって読んでくれると思いますよ。
笑い事ではありませんぞ、皆様方。このとんでもない研究がまかり通って巨額の予算が数年間にもわたって投じられていたのですからな。特にひどいのは万一の場合に備えて 相当危険な機材を用意しているという点です。これは絶対に国民に知られてはならないことです。
計画が存在しただけでも恐ろしいのに、終末作戦なんて緊急措置の存在を知られてしまったら、国外は愚か国内世論も敵に回すことになるだろうね。しかもその機材の維持費がすごいことになってるじゃないか。
そんなの本当に維持費にしてるわけないじゃないですか。そういう名目にしてトンネルしてる架空プロジェクトでしょ、どうせ。
大体何でしたっけ。少女が一人死ぬだけで村人が一斉に異常行動を起こす病気なんて、あなたどこの漫画の話ですか。
まったくまったく、こんな子供騙しを鵜呑みにして巨額の予算を垂れ流すとはつくづくいかんと思いますな。こんな資料を真に受ける連中がいるというんだから、実にバカバカしいことです。
As he said that, he placed the documents down with an exaggerated gesture. Actually, I should say he slammed them down, because the papers ended up scattered all over the floor.
ですよな。あ、ちょいと失礼。お手洗いに。
One of the men stood up and stepped on the papers. And they weren't the papers on the tatami mats, but the one on the carpet. Right there, I can see my grandfather filled with heart-rending sadness. Yet he can't let it show on his face. Grandfather's expression didn't change. Yet it seemed distorted to me. I could see the walls of my grandfather's study crumbling and twisting behind him. I jumped into the room. I grabbed onto the man's legs. I don't hate him. No, it's not whether I hate him or not. Sure, I hate him, but that's not it. I just can't forgive the feet stepping on my grandfather's article.
踏まないで踏まないで。おじいちゃんが頑張って書いたんだから、足で踏んだりしないで。
あ、失礼。
Those feet are still stepping on the papers. I try to make them move, but they won't even budge as they've grown roots. So I bet as I grabbed onto his legs. I tried to pull the papers from under his feet, but I can't move his feet. I can't pull out the papers.
踏まないで踏まないで。おじいちゃんの踏まないで。
My sobbing echoed in that silent room, just like it did back then. Bruh. That was good. Dude. I really like that. Oh my god. I mean, that scene was already good back then. Ado Takano doing it? Oof. What would that do, though? Okay. I think that's probably the end of that whole route. I bet that for a second I was thinking that was gonna be like low-key one of the reasons why Takano just did the thing. Did the gas thing just because she hated those guys. Wouldn't blame her. I mean, I should blame her, but you know I like Takano. I mean, I guess we're doing Rena. It's the only real way we can go boom boom. I don't know how we get into the fourth curse. Probably from this, I guess. Let's do Rena. Reina.
ごめんください。はいはいはい。あらら、こんにちは。あれ、どちら様？あ、どうも。私、お隣に引っ越してきました。竜宮と申します。引っ越しのご挨拶にお伺いしました。どうかよろしくお願いします。
あららら。こんな田舎の村にこんな若い子が引っ越してきちゃったのかい。そうかいそうかい、よく来たね。お母ちゃん、お隣さん、引っ越しのご挨拶来られたわよ。
でっけえ声出さんでも聞こえてんな。 ったらわざわざ丁寧に挨拶すまなっしゃろな。
竜宮さんだってお隣の空き家に引っ越されてきたって。
ああ、あんたレナちゃんかいな。大きゅうなって。
はい、レイナです。覚えててくれてたんですか？
なんね、お母ちゃん知ってんのかい。
知ってるもなんと。はあ、お前沖宮に住んどったから知らんか。ずいぶん前に住んでたお隣さんね。そうかいそうかい、戻ってきたんかい。やっぱり都会よか村の方が落ち着くんねえな。
住んでたのは小さい頃なんであまりよくは覚えていないんですけど、でもここが私の帰ってくるところだったんだなってとても懐かしくなります。
なら馴染むのは早いね。なんかお手伝いできることがあったらいつでも言ってね。遠慮はしないのがここのルールだから。
はい、ありがとうございます。
I thought I'd remember things if I walked around the village, but I still don't remember much. I do recall, however, the vivid breeze, as well as the brilliant greenery. I don't remember the village, but I remember that this is my hometown. Red stars still remain on my body. They're hardly visible, and I can't even feel them. I'm sure they'll disappear soon. Now that I'm back in Hinamizawa, sometimes I wonder who I was back in Ibaraki. In fact, I think I wasn't myself from the moment I left. And now, by coming back here, I finally regained my true self. I can hardly remember what it was like back in Ibaraki. Well, that's probably because of the red medicine. That medicine erased all of my painful memories. Maybe that was for the best. I just wanted to be forgiven back then. I couldn't forgive my mother. I couldn't forgive Anko Akihito. And more than anybody, I couldn't forgive myself. I wanted someone to acknowledge that I wasn't at fault. I wanted to be forgiven. So Oyashiro-sama apologized. She told me I wasn't at fault because it was the curse of Oyashiro-sama. That's how I was able to forgive myself. I didn't have to die by tearing my blood vessels out of my body. Tearing? I think people have to die because they become corrupted. And that's why people try their hardest not to dirty themselves all their lives. But I'm still living despite how dirty I am. I've been allowed to live. Is there still some filth left on me? Or am I clean? All clean? I don't know. The only thing I know is that the me who lived in Ibaraki and the me who's here right now are two different people. I no longer feel the need to take responsibility by ripping myself apart because of the filth. After arranging some furniture and unpacking some boxes, we finally had dinner. Although I hardly remember Hinamizawa, my father remembers things very clearly.
お父さんたちがひなみ沢に住んでた頃にもあったんだけど、今は綿流しという行事がとても大きなお祭りになってるらしい。6月の終わり頃にあるらしいね。
綿流し？
お父さんも見たことないんでわからないんだけど、体についた汚れを綿に吸い取らせて沢に流す行事らしい。
Pretty convenient, because she's wondered if she still has filth on her. Absorb the filth.
汚れって流してしまえるものなんだね。
そりゃそうだ。人間は罪深い生き物だからね。生きてるだけで日々汚れが我が身に降り積もっていくものなんだそうだ。それを年に1回体をお掃除するように綿に吸い取ってもらって捨ててしまおうということらしいよ。
People become burdened with filth and sin by doing something bad. Court sentences can settle your crimes legally, but that doesn't mean the burden of sin, of the filth, will just go away. In other words, human hands can't erase human filth in this human world. The filth is something humans can't get rid of, and that's why we need a god from a different world to do that. That's what I thought. But I'm surprised to learn about Watanashi. Human hands erasing human filth in the human world. Letting the cotton absorb the filth and drifting it down the stream. That means it's okay to live in this world. I tried to commit suicide because I couldn't forgive myself. Oyasho-sama apologized to me and told me to come back to Hinamizawa. And now, here in Hinamizawa, there's this Watanashi, a ceremony to get rid of filth. This isn't just a coincidence. Hinamizawa is a place to wash away your filth. It forgives sins. It's a place of forgiveness.
そういうのをな、みそぎって言うんだ。
あ、言葉だけは聞いたことあるかな。
日本文化というものは、汚れというものにものすごく厳格だろ。汚れを残したまま表舞台にとどまることを許さない。ほら、政治家や社長で汚職があるとすぐに辞職するのもそういうことだ。汚れた人は表舞台を去らなければならない。悪く言うと、汚れを誰か一人に押し付けて隕石させるわけだな。
Sins and filth must be removed. That's why people push them onto someone else and then try to get rid of the filth by sacrificing that person. But if that's the case, every time that filth is created, people will try to pass around a responsibility for it. That's awfully hideous. It's almost like seeing demons in the human world. That's why they came up with the idea of letting the cotton absorb all the filth. By doing so, people can live without making someone else take all the responsibilities, sins, and filth. Putting everyone's sins onto someone and then killing that person makes that person a sacrifice. Who wants to be a sacrifice? That's why they desperately push their sins around. A purification ceremony is about replacing the human sacrifice with a non-human one. The purification ceremony dramatically changed Japanese culture. Before then, people always believed someone had to become a sacrifice. In other words, even with filth, everyone can live without blaming someone else. Filth can be forgiven by a method other than death. Only an existence higher than humans can forgive them. I was forgiven by Oyasho-sama and came back to this place. To Watanashi, the purification ceremony that exists here. Letting cotton absorb the filth and drifting it away. There's no need for a sacrifice. That's why I've been allowed to live. The filthy me has drifted away, so the me that remains is no longer Reina Ryudu. If I'm not Reina, then who am I? If I'm without filth, without all the icky things, who am I? A name vaguely appeared in my head. My new name that only removes one of the letters from Reina, but I think it's a cute name. All the icky things are erased and forgiven with the removal of that one letter. So my name is no longer Reina. My name is Rena. Though, again, different fragments, but I think in the fragment we saw, she changed her name like right on the spot, right? When she was facing off against her mother. That's a cute little chapter. We probably have time for one more, though. New wind, first formation of a club. I think we can do formation of a club. But new wind's the guaranteed, so let's do that one.
それじゃあ、俺はそろそろおいとましますわ。どうもごちそうさまでした。
What house is this? This is new. Or are you? Oh, she's trying to set up the lots for sale.
また来たってな。
I think.
ただいま。
あれ、広しおじさん。お久しぶりです。
おお、ミヨンちゃん。今帰りかい。おじさんは今から送迎だよ。
送迎？ああ、不動産屋さんのお仕事？
The Sonozaki family is one of the largest landowners here in the Hinamizawa area. However, since all the land is out here in the countryside, it just ends up sitting there. Recently, the land owned by the Sonozaki family was put on sales in lots. At the family meeting, some of our relatives opposed the idea by saying we shouldn't sell off land that was handed down from our ancestors. But Granny snapped and shut them right up. Some of the unused fields were made into vacant lots and released for public sale. Actually, I had some questions about it too. The Sonozaki family is very wealthy. We have plenty of land as well as money. So why did we have to sell it off? What's more surprising to me is that Granny was the one who came up with the idea. I would have thought she'd get furious if someone even mentioned something like that.
じゃあね、駅前に寄った時はぜひ遊びにおいでよ。麦茶くらいごちそうするから。
はい、ありがとうございます。お仕事はどんな感じですか？
都会な人が案外興味を持ってくれたからびっくりだわ。便利な都会に住みながら、わざわざこんな田舎に別荘が持ちたい小金持ちばっかりだね。
やれやれ、物好きなことで。
一見別荘じゃなくて引っ越しで検討されてるお宅があったね。アトリエが持ちたいとか言ってたから、画家さんとかかね。
へえ、そりゃすごいや。
おっと、いけねえわ。じゃあおじさんはバスに戻るわ。
Whoa, what did I do? I don't know what I pressed. Supposedly, he planned a tour to show them the lots and he's the one driving the bus. It should be about time for the tour and explanations to end. He left in a hurry.
ねえ、聞いていい？よそ者嫌いのバッチャがさ、どうしてわざわざ分譲地なんかにしたの？
あたしゃよそ者なんか嫌いだし、都会者も大嫌いだ。だが村にゃ必要なんよ。空気の入れ替えみたいなもんさな。
外の人が来ることで何か村にいい影響があるっていうこと？
こかい村だね。今忙しい世の中だから一日たりともそったしといとくらんかな。昔だったら10年20年住んでても何にも変わらん変化のない静かな村だったんよ。
まあそれが田舎ってもんだしね。この村じゃ昨日と今日と明日に何の違いもない。私は退屈だけどね。
でも友達ができたろ。外から竜宮のレナちゃんが引っ越してきて友達になってくれたんだろうが、近い年の友達ができて嬉しい言うとったがな。
うん、予期せぬ友達が突然できるのは楽しいね。
レナちゃんが来んとな、ミヨン学校が退屈だ退屈だ言うとったね。いや覚えとる。
それが外から引っ越してくることによる効果だって言いたいわけ？
どんな寒い冬場にかてたまには換気をせんとな。寒くてしんどいのは承知で窓をガラリと開けることもあるんよ。
外から人を迎えることが村の換気になる。
ああ、なるん。そしてきれいな空気を入れて、あたしらみたいな悪い空気は とっとと追い出されるべきなんよ。
If I bring up the Hojo family, I know Granny will explode, so I won't. But I think what Granny is trying to say includes things like their ongoing isolation. Even now, when she remembers about what happened at that explanatory meeting, she gets really upset. But I guess even she feels that needs to come to an end. But of course, she can't just say she'll forgive them, not when she's at this stubborn age. She can't lose face by openly saying they need to be forgiven. Honestly, I think she's behaving like a little schoolgirl who actually likes a person, but treats them rudely when they're around. Maybe people really do go back to being children when they get old enough. I'm not talking just about Granny. The same can be said about all the old people in the village. No, maybe I should say the evil around here. That must be what she meant by bad air. There's no use circulating the air in a closed room. Unless you open the windows and let the fresh air in, the air in the room won't be purified.
実際に引っ越してくる人があるかはわからないけど、その人にそこまでを期待しちゃうのは気の毒じゃない？
レナちゃんが一人転校してきてもミオンは変わるね。誰が引っ越してきてもきっと村は変わる。願わくばそれが元気な若者で、わしら年寄り連中
I skipped.
年寄り連中がもうやっとれんね、あの世に退散するわいうくらいにな。
何それ？死んだおじいちゃんの話？
あほんたれ、誰がじいさまの話をしたんよ。ほれ、お手伝いさん言って縁側のお茶を片付けさせてくれな。
へいへい、了解了解。
ミオン、
ん？
北条聡が消えた日、お前私に詰め寄ったろが。
ああ、そんなこともしたね。
あたしゃな、あれで目が覚めたんよ。北条家がどうのこうのいう問題は年寄り連中が死ねばそんなの待たずはよ解決せんとなあかん。
So for a lot of these fragments, it's hard to tell the differences. Like, I'm noticing some, but this is obviously a major difference, because obviously in a Sumihoro, or not Sumihoro Boshi, Higurashi, we had the whole struggle of convincing Oryu, but it almost feels like she, well, I mean, she wanted it either way, but I don't know, maybe it'll be like easier, which you do need in a perfect world to be Takano. You need all the other things outside of Takano to be relatively easy to solve, right?
でも自分にはそれができないから、よそ者にそれを託す。
それが
Or, I mean, Keiichi's done us do it anyways, but,
精一杯だね。
well, whatever. You get my point. I don't know. Maybe it's not that different then.
どんな悪い手札だって次のドローでいい札が入れば流れが変わるきっかけになることもある。それに期待して山から札を引くのもありかもしれない。
新しい風はミオン、お前らの世代になる。外の風を迎え入れたれな。そしてお前は内からの風となって混じり合いながら村のよどみを吹き飛ばしてくれ。
他力本願の極みだね。自分が火種を作ったくせに孫にその尻拭いをさせるとは。
そういいなや。新しい風を新しい園崎家の当主として。
それが次期当主の仕事だってんなら
頼むわミオン。あたしゃ置いたね。
もう憎まれ役しかできん。
The wind chimes sounded quietly. Maybe maybe that's a sign to let us know a cool breeze is on the way. That was a nice little chapter. Or I keep saying chapter. I'm too used to it, man. The chapter end screen. But we're gonna wrap it up. I think it's hard to say. I think the first fragment we did with Tomodachi Takano is my favorite, but the second one was really good too. But next time, what do we have? Because that was post 4th year curse, so we obviously kind of skipped something. Maybe this. I think this is probably next. And maybe this. Those two. Then we have. We're almost done though. Besides all this stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, so we'll have to wait into that. But thank you guys for watching as always. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I mean, at the pace we're going, maybe the fragments will be connected by next week, unless we have to do all that. I'm not sure what that's all about, but yeah, thanks for watching as always, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Have a great day / night. Woo woo.